Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the 4th episode of the Ranger Podcast. My name is Aiden.
My name is Emiliano.
And I'm Sydney.
And today, we have a good guest with us. Everyone, please welcome Qb1, Collin Blackstock. So, coming off a great night last night, how did it feel to pull off that win against Liberty, especially at the magnitude y'all did?
Yeah, it was awesome. You know, it's always good to be 3-0 in district, so a lot of fun. You know, we enjoyed it, got to see a lot of people play. So it was a lot of fun.
What is that kind of way you look at games after? Like, some guys go out and celebrate, some guys stay home. What do you usually do?
You know, yesterday or last night, you know, I got to go out and get some food, but most of the time I'm hurting a lot, so I just go home and sleep, you know.
Yeah.
You know, most of the time it's just go home, eat, go to sleep. You know, I don't really go and have fun that much. You know, just rest up and then have fun the next day.
Right.
Yeah.
So
you can't really do a lot after the Wakeland game because they decided to start fights at Waterbury.
yeah, man,
exactly.
That game. So we could go right into the Wakeland game. Would you say it's the biggest game of the year for y'all?
Yeah. I mean, that was kind of the last team that we were really worried about in terms of in our district. So to be able to pull off a win against them after, you know, obviously beating Greedy was just huge. Obviously, it was so much fun, you know, them kind of being our, you know, rivals or whatever in the battle for Whataburger. So it's a ton of fun to be able to win against them, you know, in such a dramatic fashion. I think that was the loudest I've ever heard the Star. I mean, I couldn't hear anything. Nobody could hear our calls. Like, it was just chaos at the end because it was so loud. So it was a ton of fun, though.
All the noise going into that week. Obviously, there was a lot on Barstool. There was a lot of noise coming from Wakeland. What was your mindset going into that game?
I mean, I usually don't pay too much attention to the Barstool. I mean, it's honestly pretty funny. I laugh at all of it, but you know, that's kind of their business. You know, we focus on what we have to do in terms of the game. But I think they posted, was that them who posted something about my forehead? You know,
Yeah, that was you.
That was pretty disrespectful. But honestly, like, I just look at it and laugh. You know, it doesn't really affect me too much, but you know, just trying to go win a football game. But it's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's funny. Didn't you see the Wakeland principal after the game?
Yeah, so the thing was, I was on the field, you know, I was taking pictures, of course, and then I go up to the elevator. It was like me and 3 of my friends, and then the Wakeland principal and the Wakeland coach were also in the elevator. And it was the most awkward energy I've probably ever encountered. Like, the Wakeland principal walks in, looks at the coach, and goes, "Man, it was hard, huh?" And we're obviously in our Lone Star gear. We're like smiling, and we're like, So then I was looking down at my phone because I knew if I like looked up at my friends, like I would just lose it, and it would be so disrespectful, especially to the principal of Wakeland. So I was just trying to mind my business, but there were a few chuckles that were let out of my control, and the principal definitely heard those, and maybe you should have won, is all I have to say. Yeah.
So obviously the Wakeland game, but people say perfection's built through practice. What kind of mindset do you have going into every single practice? Obviously early in the morning to try to get that motivation going.
Yeah, I mean, it is early, I'll say that. But, you know, every day is an opportunity, and I'd say, especially being a senior, I try and take, you know, each practice with, you know, just the best attitude that I can, and just remember that, you know, my days are numbered here. So, you know, I only have a few more practices left. You know, we're already, halfway through district, so, you know, I just try and think of every practice as, you know, just an opportunity to play football again, to play, you know, with my friends. So it makes it a lot easier to wake up and, you know, go hard. And obviously we want to win too. So, you know, it makes it easier just to go hard the whole practice. So, but it is early.
Yeah,
you know, my bed is definitely comfy, you know, early in the morning.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how you do it, bro.
Yeah.
I'd be waking up at like 5 and I'd be sitting on the edge of the bed, just be like contemplating life. And then the whole period of like pre-practice, I'm just like so sleepy. I'm like contemplating what I should have came to practice. And then period 1 gets, I'm like, okay, I'm chilling.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like Sunday night, it has to be at least 4 alarms set because it's tough getting up. But once I get there, you know, energy's good. We're having fun. You know, we're going to work. So after that point. But getting out of
Yeah.
that is the hard part for sure.
Obviously, high school football is a memory that some people will never forget. Have you discussed with the people around you if college football is a decision you want to make?
Yeah, so I've talked to my parents about it a lot, but I've definitely decided that if the opportunity presents itself, that that's something that I want to do. But I'm not gonna go to a school that I wouldn't want to go just to school there, if that makes sense. Like if I wouldn't be willing to go there for school and not for football, then that's not something that I'm gonna do. But I do want to, if the opportunity presents itself, that is something that I would definitely enjoy, and continue to play football would be a dream. But there's a lot of boundaries around it. Don't want to go too far. Mama doesn't want me to go too far. So obviously. So yes and no. It's got to be the right place.
Right.
So, sorry, what is like your top choice for college?
Well, for college, if you're saying for college and play football, I'm looking at a few schools. Like Abilene Christian is where my mom graduated from. It's in Texas. It's not too far. Actually, my cousin plays there right now. So to go there and have somebody that I already know that's playing football, and it's somewhere where I feel like eventually I could play, and that's just honestly, and I'd be willing to go to school there too. So that would be a great spot for me. But anywhere that I feel like I could get a good education and also play, would be somewhere that I'm willing to go. So.
Our Qb1 is also an academic weapon.
Obviously, being an athlete, you hear the term student athlete a lot in school. Do you really believe it is as important as coaches make it out to be?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, for starters, it has big implications on college. Your academics, and I've always known that. So I've always tried to do really hard or really good in my academics, and also it's just kind of like I'd say a pride thing. I don't want that to sound bad, but I just want to do well. So I've kind of always strived to do my best, and so whether that's writing an essay or taking a math test, I make sure I do my best and apply myself, and those results have always been good or decent. So
So going into this, I never told you this, but I was in Mayraw's last year, and he actually had brought you up in a class one day, and your junior year was filled through a lot of ups and downs during the season. But he was actually saying that your injury provided you to clear your head a little bit and focus on your academics. Do you think that is true?
You know what? I would agree. I had a great time in Mr. Merrill's class last year, but I mean, yeah. So I, hurt my ankle and had to have surgery, and that was, kind of a big experience for me because I didn't walk for 4 weeks, and so I had a lot of time just to myself. And one of the things that I did, and he probably mentioned it in your class, was I read Atomic Habits, which is a great book, and he'd always talk about how he felt that time that I had down helped me with my academics and just with my day-to-day, like being a better student, which I would agree. I felt like reading that book and having that time downtime, I wouldn't have read that book and kind of changed the way that I see my academics if it weren't for that time that I had outside of football. So I definitely think it helped my academics, and I definitely wrote some good essays for Mr. Mayraw because of it. So,
do you believe that type of adversity towards an athlete, going out into a season, trying to have a breakout year, and you're faced with that kind of adversity, do you believe that shapes you as a person and as an athlete?
Yeah, 100%. When something like that happens, you really only have two options. You can kind of feel sorry for yourself and just be sad, that it happened, or you can decide that, this is a period of time where I'm going to really be able to work on myself and, work on some of my weaknesses. Like I remember my mom will tell the story is like the first time that I could get up out of the couch, I like crawled upstairs to go to our weight room, and was lifting. Because that's, strength was a big, I knew that I was going to have to get stronger for my senior year. And so, I was always looking for something that I could build on, whether that had been, lifting and doing stuff that I could do, like upper body lifts, or if that was like, academics and stuff like that. So I think, when you're dealing with adversity like this, there's always two sides. You have an option if you want to, use it for good or just kind of sit, in your sadness, I guess.
That is true. what kind of mindset did you have going into your senior year? Like, it's my last year. This is my last year representing Lone Star. What do I need to do to make sure I have no regrets?
I mean, honestly, I've just been trying to enjoy every moment. Like, it started with, off season last year, just enjoying, being with my friends, in the weight room. Because, our lifting program's hard. Like, Coach Moss puts us through a pretty difficult weight training program there in the off season. But I just knew, like, this is my last everything. Like, once this season ends, I'm not going into off season, So just trying to enjoy it for this past calendar year has been very important to me, and then spring ball. So we do spring ball, and even then I was like, my practices are numbered. The season hadn't even started yet, and I was thinking about just how limited my football practices were, and then obviously comes this fall and just trying to take advantage of every moment because what is it? Do we have 5 district games left, I think? So something like that. It's crazy. It's going by so fast, So just trying to make sure that, I enjoy everything because I know this is, memories that I won't, ever forget. So, eventually I'm going to think of these as the good old days. So I'm just trying to live in the present and, just enjoy this.
I feel like something you skipped over right there was Ranger Maker. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, I didn't have to do it because I was in baseball. Remember?
Yeah.
So I did it my freshman year, and then did I do it my sophomore year? I don't remember. But I've been out of Ranger Maker for a little bit now, so that's one good thing about playing baseball is y'all got that. But
Nah, I gotta say this Ranger Maker had to be the worst out of all the ones I've had to do. It's just we'd get so close, and then Coach would hit us with the, "Do you think you'll pass?"
oh,
And then I was like, I think it was a great day, but it's not a championship. And then we'd run it back, it's I think it took us 2 weeks or something crazy like that.
yeah.
And it was just,
Hey, we would get changed and go out into the indoor for a little bit, before we went out to baseball practice, and I was feeling for y'all. I saw y'all rolling on the mats and stuff like that. It looked like it sucked. So.
it did.
You can clearly see that kind of I'm not going to give up mentality in the last play of the Wakeland game.
Mm-hmm.
What was going through your head when the ball snapped and you knew you had to score to win that game?
Yeah. Honestly, what was kind of crazy about that play is that, so I didn't even snap the ball. So our center, Gary, so what I do is I clap twice to snap the ball. I never snap the ball. So honestly, my first thought when that play started was I was shocked that the ball was snapped. It was because he couldn't hear me. So we couldn't hear the snap called, and that was my first, I was just making sure I got the snap because I was surprised that the ball was coming at me. So that's kind of a funny little tidbit there. But after that, I knew that, I was going to have to make something happen. I knew the time was running down. Honestly, I rolled out to my left and I was like, there's nobody open. And then after that, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to make something happen. So I just ended up running around and, found Bryson in the back of the end zone. And, I was just trying to buy as much time to let them get open, as I could. And it ended up working. I saw him in the back of the end zone. He caught it. And that's all she wrote.
All I remember was you running over to the student section and you taking off your helmet and you knowing that there was a good chance you won that game. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was so much fun. I mean, we were so hyped. When we scored that, it was deafening how loud it was.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
Well, you could clearly see in the broadcast video
Yep.
the student section reaction.
Mm-hmm.
That touchdown was scored. Everyone went crazy.
That was my shot. That was the best moment because just seeing everyone the absolute jumping in the air. We always have great reactions, but it was every single person, none of the last row of the student section, and I was like, we did it.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Well, everyone was saying it was just over, and
Yeah.
it was great. It was great to see y'all come back. And
There was 1 minute left. We were on the sidelines. Everyone was like, it's over. I was like, it's never over. I think I have denial. I think I have game day denial.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, no, it's not over. Even in the last 7 seconds for what game was that?
Reedy
game.
Yeah.
I was like, it's not. We're gonna get it, and I'm right. So
Hey, we're
I believe in my Rangers.
we're 2 for 2 on game winners.
That's
you know?
2
Do you have a
good
favorite?
Yeah.
Between Reedy and Wakeland, do you have a favorite game winner?
I'd have to say Wakeland, just because of who they are, just because of them being our rivals or whatever. That was just so exciting, and I think You know, I never would say it's over, but for the Wakeland game, it kind of felt more like it was, you know, a sealed deal. But, you know, credit to our defense for getting the ball back. That was crazy, you know, and then, you know, we took advantage. So, but it was so much fun. Both of them were equally, you know, like, equally as fun, but, you know, just because of Wakeland being, you know, our rivals, just because they're Wakeland, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So,
you know.
shout out a little bit more.
So you knew as Jackson got that fumble, what went through your head when you knew you were going back out on the field?
Score. I mean, that was it. Like, I was, you know, I sat down on the sideline. I had thrown a pick, you know, the drive before, and I looked up and we had whatever it was, a minute or something left, and you know, I knew we had 3 timeouts, so there was a possibility we'd get the ball back. But I was just hoping, you know, give us one more chance, you know, give us one more opportunity, you know, and I was just hoping for a little bit of hope, you know. And I saw that ball come out. I had the perfect angle, you know. I saw the ball spit out, and we recovered it. And, I mean, I just remember getting up, and all I was thinking is it's our time. Like, we got to score.
Yeah.
We have to. So.
I have like kind of a question. So like we've seen like 2 very intense sides of like wins. Like we've seen down to the last minute or 7 seconds, and we've also seen, what was the score, like 56 to 0.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I don't know, because one side is probably like so much anxiety, like such a good game, so much noise, and then one side is like, oh, like we've got this in the bag. Like what's like the preference there?
I mean, I definitely say the close game winners are my preference. Like, it's just so much more, it's just so fun, like the adrenaline and everything. But my mom was telling me this week, she goes, don't give us another heart attack. So I think for her it might be the other. But for me, I definitely say the game winners are super fun.
That's awesome. Well,
All right, last question before we wrap it up. Any weird pregame rituals?
No, not really. I try and like not like stick to one thing. I will say that some people might think it's weird, but like on the bus ride there, I can't listen to anything that gets me too amped up until I get to the locker room. So it's only country music until I get to the locker room. So I guess that's a little weird. That's it.
That's definitely up there. Well, Collin, thank you for coming on. Thank you for talking about your football career. Hopefully you come back during baseball season.
Yeah, for sure. Thank y'all.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Well, everyone, thank you for watching.